very happy for my team, and actually, despite what anybody else might think, I'm very proud of them. I was concerned that style coming right out of the gate could be problematic. In the first game of the season, you see 40 minutes of zone. At times, I thought we attacked their zone very well. At times, we didn't. Second half, we started turning the ball over. We did a great job of ball care in the first half. And then second half, we got loose with the ball. And they're very good at getting it and converting from defense to offense. And so, and then late in the game, they just started going one-on-one, and we were not doing a good. We became very man-conscious instead of concerning ourselves with the ball, and we were just getting driven and laid up on. And so finally, we went zone, and of all things, they didn't seem to like the zone very much. So, them being a complete, an entirely a zone team, and they didn't seem to like the zone. They did in the first half. We played it 2 possessions in the first half, and they got 5 points. But in the second half, we were able to get them slowed down a little bit, and they're at the end of the game. So, our foul shooting in the second part of the second half let us down. We missed. Well, gosh, we were 10 for 17 in the second half in total. Came back in the overtimes, made 15 out of 17, which is terrific. So I just thought we made some gutty, big time plays, and those are hard games when you get behind at home to a team that everybody thinks you're supposed to beat. Those are pressurized games, and I thought our guys fought hard and really did a nice job.
You expect you'll have to use that zone for extended stretches going forward?
I used it for a couple of reasons. One was because they were driving us so much, and two, Jamel and Cam both had 4 fouls, and so I was trying to protect them a little bit. And I'm not married to playing defense just one way. We'll play. I think we probably played 4 different defenses tonight. So we'll hunt and search if we have to. If we're not having success with one, we'll go to another. And I thought at the end, I thought the zone bailed us out a little bit.
Jim, what are your thoughts on Jamel's game, especially given the challenge that he faced against his own team like this?
Well, Jamel is a terrific zone offensive player. I mean, terrific. And so, and I knew that. I knew that coming in, and that's his reputation, and it's a fact. He's a terrific player in zone offense. So, we tried to build a lot of what we did around him and a lot of what we did around Mike, and in the first half, the stuff we did around Mike worked real well. And then start of the second half, we went back to that, and we had some turnovers, and so we got Jamel back in there, and he kind of got things settled down and got us back into a flow. But I thought Jamel was really terrific. His foul shooting was great. Made big ones there at the end, and you expect seniors to make plays, and those 2 guys, and Sheldon certainly did, and Chris for that matter, made big free throws too.
Were you expecting to, obviously with 2 overtimes and minutes are a little different, but were you expecting to rely on Justice as much as you did, especially towards?
No, I wasn't. Cam would have gotten a lot of those minutes had he not been in foul trouble, and so. But Justice did a good job, because when I look down here and see that he didn't have any turnovers, then I'm happy, and he did a good enough job on defense. Again, their guards are very, very talented, and that big kid Thompson is very talented. We did an okay job on him, other than his rebounds, but it was a hard game.
What do you think Justice's role is going to be with the team going forward?
Probably much what you saw from tonight. He'll come in and give guys rests. Certainly the backup to Jamel at the point, and again, I would say since the exhibition game, he probably was the guy in our practice that showed the most improvement of the bench guys. And there are going to be certain games that, for instance, I think Jonathan Milligan can impact more. Certain games that Damon Wilson might be able to impact more. I know you asked me about Justice, but just in terms of our bench. I thought, Justice is going to have to guard the ball. If somebody's got a guy that's good with the ball, he needs to get out there and guard the guy and guard him effectively. And for the most part, he did that tonight.
There was a lot of talk of the 9-player rotation, in the weeks going into the season. When you look at the 9 guys that you played tonight, or presented, how fluid or interchangeable do you envision that rotation being in the coming weeks?
Well, here's what I know. I can't have Mike and Chris and Jamel playing, 40-some minutes. Sheldon plays 39. That's I would have preferred something, and obviously if we hadn't had 10 extra minutes, those minutes would have been greatly reduced. But when it gets to the end of the game, I'm riding with the guys who've been there. And now my job is to find the best 5 that night, okay? But we got to a point to where when Cam fouled out, Ryan Luther, I thought, really did a nice job. I thought Ryan was effective for us. He didn't make his shots like he normally does, but he's got such a good shot fake. He got them out of position and got some other guys baskets. But those 6 have a lot of experience. Justice seems to be working himself in it, and so we'll see what happens going forward.
In those stretches where you guys had trouble against their zone, what were you guys not able to do? Was it just an inability to kind of get into the middle of the zone to make plays, or?
You know what? I really think when we had trouble was when we turned the ball over. I thought it was the flurry of turnovers we had there at the beginning of the second half. And then if they get it, there were probably 3 or 4 times in the second half where they deflected the ball, but we got it back where it was almost a turnover but wasn't. And those just break your possessions down. They break you down when you're trying to run good, crisp offense. And so, they know that most guys aren't comfortable catching that ball in there at 15 or 16 feet with their back to the basket. But fortunately for us, Mike and Jamel, for the most part, are. And so we just kept shifting our zone offense around and trying to find something that worked. But it also didn't help that, and they do a great job defending the 3, but it didn't help that we went 8 for 33 from the 3-point line either. We make some shots, and we had, now they contested them well, but there were some that we had that were open that we just missed.
What does your man-to-man defense need to do to improve?
Guard the ball better. We just got to guard the ball. We got to guard quick guards better, and we knew that they were talented off the dribble. We knew they were. We were a little more concerned about the big guy inside, and so we had set up our defense to be ready to double team him. And then as it turns out, he didn't really hurt us. It was the guards that hurt us, so we just have to do a better job of guarding the ball. And probably what happened was, I'm guessing with the heavy minutes we played, I'm sure we got a little tired. It's hard running out there and chasing around really fast guys like that, but we have some adjustments still that we need to make and some things we need to get put in to help ourselves. But we did a good job defending them in the first half, and so we've got to make sure our second half defense is as good as our first half defense.
You mentioned those 33 threes. You think that's a good number for you guys this game, or do you feel like you forced some?
Well, you force some at the end of the shot clock because they get you deep in the clock sometimes, and so you have to, you force. And a couple of them we took were certainly bad. Jamel took one with 7 or 8 seconds to go from just inside the half court line, it felt like, but I like Jamel because he's coachable to me. I can coach him, and when I say something to him, he listens and he tries to do what I want. So, again, he has 3 assists and no turnovers. So as long as our guards are taking good care of the ball, we're okay. Mike will do better than he did tonight. Mike had that flurry of turnovers, but again, sometimes, and I don't think people understand this, sometimes these first games can be like, if you're not playing somebody that's completely inferior, these games can be hard, and like I call them out-of-body experiences, to where can be difficult. And again, you play against that style, and our guys grinded it out. I'm proud of them. It wasn't again one of my favorite lines when I used to play golf. It's not an art contest; it's a math contest. And so is this game. It's not an art contest, baby. It's math, and we added up more than they did, and good for our guys, because I'll tell you what, it would feel a heck of a lot different in here if that score was reversed.
When you're in those situations where you're up 3 final seconds of the game, coaches probably all have their own philosophy. Are you generally inclined not to foul there?
I'm generally inclined not to talk about my philosophy there, because then people can try to take advantage of it.
Was that a consideration, I guess? At this
It was
point?
absolutely a consideration. It was something that was discussed in the huddle. And we actually performed it exactly like I told them to, because I told them when and where to foul. But Jamel had 4 fouls. I said, Jamel can't foul. Jamel's guy was the guy that ended up with the wall and took the shot. So they did what I told them. I would have preferred to have fouled in that particular situation. There's a time on the clock and a score. We've got the whole, I mean, we've practiced it. We've practiced fouling. We've practiced not fouling. But we were going to foul in that situation unless Jamel's guy had the ball. And now Jamel didn't put his hand up when the guys took the shot. I would have at least liked him to just stuck a hand up. But fortunately they missed, and we were able to pull it out.
Would you have attributed the high number of turnovers to the effectiveness of the zone or your players making mistakes?
I thought we were both. And now let's go back for a second. We had 12 turnovers in 50 minutes of play. I'll take 12 turnovers most nights. As fast as we try to play, I'll take 12 turnovers just about every night. 12 or below, and the fact that we played 2 overtimes, that team had 17 steals and 16 steals and 17 steals. I'm looking at their stats from last year. There's not only just turnover, they're stealing the ball 14, 15, 12, 17 times. And so they had 8 against us in 50 minutes. So 12 turnovers is probably not that bad. And now, we had them like, it seemed like all in a row. It seemed like we had the first 10 minutes of the second half, or first 6 minutes of the second half, we turned it over 4 or 5 times. That's where it felt like a lot. But, and Mike had 7. That's too many. Mike goes from 8 assists and no turnovers to 5 assists and 7 turnovers. So, but he'll do better. And again, like I said, that's a funky game to have to play for 50 minutes. And especially when your team needs you. I mean, he did have 26 and 10, so I can live with those 7 turnovers, because he got that big boy offensive rebound, big boy offensive rebound, big boy. He big boyed him and got that game where we needed it.